Welcome to Earlville Library District's Mystery Crafts for Spring 2022, Week 3. Today, Miss Miranda's prepared for us a bouquet of paper flowers in a nice wrapped vase. We're going to learn how to make this today, so pull out your packets and we'll get started. The supplies that we'll need for this craft includes some paper strips. There should be 2 of each color. They are 2 inches by 11 inches. And some brown yarn. You should have 25 feet, a foam brush, a vase, some double-sided tape or a tape roller. There is a difference in the bags. You'll either have a sheet of double-sided tape pieces or a tape roller. And if you have the tape pieces, you'll have several pieces of 11-inch tape and a few small pieces of 6-inch tape. You'll have some skewers, some green paint, and then from home, you'll need a pair of scissors. So the first thing Miranda's going to do is open up her green paint, grab her foam brush, a piece of scrap paper, and her skewers, and she's going to use that foam brush to paint all those skewers green. Those will be the stems of our flowers. Then you'll need to set those aside to dry. Now it's time to work on the vase. So grab your vase, the yarn, and those double-sided tape strips or the double-sided tape roller. Miss Miranda's going to show you how to use both of them. Starting with these double-sided tape strips, she's pointing to the shorter strips. There should be 3 of those on your sheet if you have a sheet. And she's going to peel one at a time off of the sheet and pretty evenly space them vertically around the glass vase. She's going to just start at the top there, press it down, and bring it all the way down the length of the vase, press it into place, and when we're ready to wrap, she can peel that top backing off, and it'll be nice and sticky so we can wrap with the yarn. Now here are the instructions if you got one of our double-sided tape rollers. Flip open the cap, put your finger in that little groove on the device, and just press onto the glass vase and sort of drag down a straight vertical line of double-sided tape. These things are pretty cool. Miss Miranda does 2 kind of coats or 2 layers here, so if you need another layer you can do that. And then you're done. So either do 3 of those tape roller lines or 3 tape lines. Now grab your yarn and pull it out of the baggie and attempt to find the beginning. That's probably the most challenging part here. Lay it out, see if you can decipher where it starts, grab an end, and then try not to tangle it too much as you work or you'll drive yourself crazy. But find an end, and then we're getting ready to wrap. So either you're going to start wrapping or you're going to need to peel off those double-sided tape backings first. Make sure the tape part stays stuck to your glass, and then you can wrap. If you use the roller, then you're already ready to go. Use the end and tack it down to one of those tape lines and start wrapping your entire vase. You're going to go in a spiral motion and just make sure your yarn is nice and taut but not too tight as you wrap it around. You just don't want it to be hanging loose. Make sure to touch each of those tape lines so the yarn stays on your vase, and keep moving in a slow spiral steady motion and wrap until your vase is completely covered. Here we see the finished product, a completely wrapped yarn vase. Now we're ready to start making the flowers. So for this part, you're going to need those paper strips. Grab any color you'd like to start with. And the first thing we're going to do is fold that paper in half lengthwise. So you see Miranda folding long ways, so you have an even, smaller rectangle strip. Now grab your tape sheets. Miranda's going to show you how to do the tape roller as well, but we're going to use the longer of the tape sheets and we're going to press it onto the edge that is open. So not the folded edge, but across from it, we're going to lay down that double-sided tape, press it into place, and make sure it's secure. And now we're going to make fringe. So grab some scissors and we're going to make little slits nice and close together, but they can't go past that tape line. So make lots of little slits all the way down the entire length of that strip, never crossing that tape line. Now you can open up your folded paper and you'll feel the fringe there in the middle. Start to kind of bend it back the other way because we're going to fold the paper in half backwards now, back the opposite way we folded it. And you're not going to want to press too hard on those fringe sides so that they stay kind of puckered open. So we're just kind of gently coaxing it in the other direction. Then Miranda's going to peel away her double-sided tape backing a little bit at a time and begin to stick those two sides of the paper together. Now you can grab yet another long strip of double-sided tape and we're going to place this on our strip 2 in the same place we put our last double-sided tape. So on the seam end, not the fringe end. You're going to see Miranda set that aside and start working on the green one, and she's going to use the tape strips again, so bear with us and we will show you how to use the tape roller next. Okay, here with the pink one, we fold it in half just like normal, but then we grab our double-sided tape roller instead, open the cap, put our finger in the groove, and on that seam end, not the folded edge, is going to draw or press a line of double-sided tape right along that edge, as close to the edge as she can get it. Then everything continues pretty much like before. She's making her fringe and she's not crossing that tape line. So go all the way down the strip, making your fringe as close together or as chunky as you like. And then she's going to open the strip back up, fold it backwards without pressing too hard on those fringy bits. Press the two edges together and set those aside. In order to make sure your fringe pops out like petals, Miranda goes back in and kind of presses on the seam end of the fringe to open up those little fringe sections a little bit so that when she rolls them, they'll be nice petals. Also note, you'll want to do this to all your remaining strips, so you should have 2 totally fringed and prepped strips of each color. Now it's time to turn those strips into flowers. So grab your stem or your skewer and put the blunt end facing up. We'll show you the instructions for the tape strips first. So peel the backing off of the tape strip for one of your petal strips. And then we're going to lay the skewer on top of that tape at an angle with the blunt end up and those petals facing out. And then you're going to roll into the tape in a downward spiral so that all those petals start to pop out. Keep rolling in a downward spiral until you run out of paper strip. When you run out of strip, grab the second paper strip in the same color, peel off that double-sided tape backing, and just start where you left off. Make sure that you place it on your flower at an angle, stick the tape to the stem, and just keep rolling in a downward spiral. Miranda said that it will tend to get kind of chunky because you're forcing the paper to do things it's not really meant to do. So just fold down any of those really gappy, chunky bits that bulk up on your stem and roll right into it. Just press them down and roll in until you run out of paper. Now you can do a little fluffing, open up any of those petals that you need to. And if you have the double-sided tape strips, then you'll repeat this process for the rest of your flowers. If you have a double-sided tape roller, stay tuned for those instructions. For the double-sided tape roller, you're going to grab your strips just like we would with the double-sided tape strips. Grab your roller and just press on your line of double-sided tape on that edge. Again, we're placing it on the same edge we placed the double-sided tape before, not on the fringe side, but on the opposite side. Miranda does it in a couple sections, so if you're more comfortable with that, Do that and try to keep that tape as close to that seam as you can. Then the process is pretty much the same. You're going to grab the skewer and place it blunt end up, fringe side out, stick the skewer to the tape at an angle, and start rolling. And then when you need to add your second strip, load it up with double-sided tape, stick it to the end of where you left off, and keep going just like the other instructions. Repeat that process for all of your petals and your stems. And that should leave you with 3 beautiful paper flowers. Grab your vase, pop your flowers inside, and you have a lovely new spring decor item. And there you have it, a beautiful spring vase and paper flowers. You can add to this in your home with your own flowers or your own decor items and celebrate spring with us. Thanks for watching, and feel free to catch up on any of the craft videos that you may have missed from weeks past. We have a bunch here on YouTube. Please like and subscribe so we know you're enjoying our content, and we'd love to see pictures of your finished projects if you'd like to send them to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Earlville Public Library. We got a whole bunch of other cool videos and podcasts here on YouTube you can check out, and stay tuned because our last week of crafting is coming. If you don't have a craft bag yet, give the library a call and see if we have any left to reserve for you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week for week 4.